A fascinating matchup this. The match play mastery of an all-time great in John Higgins, pitted against the fluency and attacking flair of Zhao Xintong. Two contrasting styles, one title on the line. The stage is set, Alan.
Certainly is, yeah. I haven't looked forward to a final this much since the World Championship itself, at the tail end of last season. The coin toss was interesting. John won it and elected to put Xintong in with the thought that the last thing I need is breaking off, and he drills in a long red. So John gets the first opportunity in close. Well played, good shot.
One.
Yeah, it is always an interesting one, isn't it, to see the coin toss as well. If the match goes close and goes to a decider, John may get the first chance.
His nemesis early on in the final. Sorry, John Higgins fans. And that one goes, though. No problem. He's missed a few of those, hasn't he? He'll be doubling down on those. He'll have plenty of them in this final.
7.
8 frames to be played in this mini session, interval after 4. Both players will be well aware they cannot win this title in this session, but they can certainly lose it. So it's all about jostling for positions going in to the evening session. Appearing in a career 60th ranking event final. The numbers are just extraordinary.
Eight.
And of course, bidding today to become the oldest ever ranking event champion, eclipsing fellow student in the class of '92, Mark Williams.
$11. $12.
John clearly taking advantage of the optimum angle to push a few reds into the open. Beautifully played. Perfect result. Well played.
$17.
Caught the apex of the pink there. Plenty of backspin on the cue ball as well. Purposely played to catch the pink, screw off them, back into the open. The dream split for John Higgins.
$18.
Dear me, that's the worst shot he's played all tournament. I can't believe he's lost the cue ball by a couple of feet. And he's in no man's land at send a break. From what looked like a genuine chance to put down a serious marker has come to nothing.
The green ball. John Higgins, 18.
Yeah, as you say, it was a premature end to that visit from John Higgins. Got the reds perfectly placed. But he gets a second chance. This really is where the experience will tell today from John Higgins. May have had the chance to pot that green with the rest a few moments ago. His opponent certainly would have been tempted. John using his discipline, keeping it tight.
One.
Yeah, this is one of those just the wrong side of the blue. Providing he can reach the pink with the mini putt, he's better off playing it now rather than the red that follows the blue, because he ain't going to get closer to the next red. So the pink is definitely the correct shot. Good thing is he only has to worry about the pot itself.
Seven. Eight.
The early exchanges of this final will be a good indicator as to how much that semi-final took out of John Higgins yesterday. Goodness me, how did he stand up and make that clearance? I can count on one finger the players that would made that clearance that John did. He really is one of a kind.
13. Fourteen. 19. 20.
'That's gone just a hair awkward. He could easily play for the red nearest the right corner, but that's not what he would be looking for. And playing the cannon is tricky, with no guarantee.
Hedged his bet slightly there, John. Just
26.
injected a little bit of pace into that cannon.
Yeah.
He's not perfect, but he's okay.
27. $32. 33.
So one more red,
39.
and preferably high value colour to take the opening frame. It's been a strong start
40.
this from John Higgins. Okay, broke down early on when he got the first chance. This pink then for the frame.
$46.
And he'll be keen to see this red down the cushion disappear. That would just cement Zhao Xintong to his seat. He's in for a tough match today, he knows that. Well played.
47. Di Bravo. $47.
So it's John Higgins
First
who
round.
gets his Players' Championship
Higgins.
final.
Out to meet the cushion and back towards the pack. Been working on it all week. Watch the red. There it is. And he gets it back in.
Good line with the safety shot there from the world champion. Just wonder if the only red that John can see, if he's straight enough on it to this right corner. Maybe available. Black available too. Worth another look. A fabulous pot, but not just that, the control, the cannon to the red. Could not have placed that cue ball any better with his hand. Well, he's looking very, very sharp, isn't he?
8. $9.
Yeah, we've been expecting the thunderbolts from Xintong, but that long red by John, dear, 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 what a shot that was. Similar to a red he potted yesterday to the opposite corner. He's clearly feeling super confident. I think it's a battle of the mind with John today. I think his actual game, his physical game,
16.
is where he wants it to be.
course, the result of that,
17.
we already know what Zhao Xintong is about. One of the most naturally gifted players we've ever seen. But we may learn more about him today. How he responds to this from John Higgins. Because as you say, he's looking very, very good. His game is in great shape.
There's a point to be made about his post-match interview yesterday when he said on the Miss Pink in the penultimate frame he was thinking about a Mark Williams game match from back
23.
in the day. That's what age does, isn't it? You know, Xintong doesn't have those experiences, so he wouldn't be thinking about anything other than the shot in front of him. That's just age.
Commonly referred to as battle scars.
Yep.
24. $29.
Yeah, the eyes and the mind don't see what the heart doesn't grieve over. And when you're as experienced as John is, you'll have had to suffer some bad beats. It's inevitable, it's unavoidable. But just again to say his game looks in fantastic nick. That
30.
recent final at Ali Pali in the Masters, John led 1-0 and should have gone 2-0 in front. And that was the kind of start of his demise. I know it was early in that huge final. So these are big moments.
But that one has gone badly wrong.
37.
Looking to avoid the red directly above the black there. Needed to catch the left one of the two. So once again, the first good chance has gone astray. Looking to try and get Zhao Xintong in a spot of bother, although from where he's landed, it's not that easy to do.
John Higgins, 37. One.
Yeah, nice flick on the brown. What does he have in terms of reds in the open? Not a lot on the face of it. Just the fact that his cue's lying on the cushion there tells us he has the perfect angle to get down this end.
And there's a red hidden right amongst them that would be available to right corner. Very precise positional shot required here. Well, he's looking at the top one of the three. That will also pass.
think he's landed exactly where he would want to, because he'll go deep with his cue ball here, surely. Yeah, back for blue. And he's going to push others into play. Cue ball looks good just below the middle pocket. Oh dear, that's what a bonus.
6.
Well, there was a lot of moving parts here. Didn't know where to look. Complete butchery on the first red, but goodness me, John will be pleased to see that red track and find the left corner pocket. But he might have put himself under a little spot of bother here, because he's got to go for this yellow now.
Yeah, the way John's mind thinks, in some way, I know what he's like. He doesn't regard luck as a thing. If he's obviously had a bit of good fortune there, and the way his brain works is, do you know what? I should take this on now, almost to equalise the fluke in a way. Doesn't mean he's gonna, but he actually hit the wrong red, didn't he? First on
The green ball.
the potting attempt. Anyway, it's back to the baulk cushion. Look at that, deliberately cover
John
the
Higgins,
red
6.
near the baulk line. Super shot.
That's an area of Zhao Xintong's game that has been evident this week. In playing his return to baulk, he's managed to find the baulk cushion quite consistently. It's get the basics right in that department today. Ask the question of John to find the return.
John setting a trap. Which against most players is a good ploy. But we know what this boy's like from distance.
One.
Yeah, he set the trap, but this boy cannot be caged. Finds another.
It's bolt straight, isn't it? I don't think he can do anything with it. He's going to have to just leave the cue ball top side. Especially playing it with pace, positionally, he can't do anything. Surely. Yeah, he just had to accept it.
Three. Four.
Well, look at how he's played that. What a shot that is from the world champion. That added pace to get the cue ball not only in but out of baulk. Three fabulous shots to get this break up
8.
and running.
9.
That's what he does so well. He's always on the prowl to find an opportunity, a way to get in. That's why it's so exciting to watch. That's why when playing him,
12.
you never feel safe, never comfortable.
13. $20. $21.
Zhao Xintong bidding to join an elite firm of
28.
players to have won back-to-back ranking events. Of course, lifted the World Grand Prix a few weeks ago, riding the crest of a wave.
$29.
This is his 5th ranking final. He's been unbeaten in his 4 previous. And that's perfectly played.
36.
Took the decision to play the more
36.
difficult red of the 2. He wasn't perfectly behind it, but he saw it as the correct shot to play.
If ever there's a 2-frame swing and 1 miss, it's that. This is an easy pick-up now for John.
1.
That could be a huge moment in this final, albeit it's very early.
And there may be a lot of people wondering why Zhao Xintong didn't play
6.
the red over the middle pocket. The issue was he would have had to get somewhere close to where the cue was anyway for that final red down the left side cushion.
7.
So it was a gamble. It was high reward. John Higgins now looking to pick up the pieces.
$12. $14. $17. $21. $26.
How pivotal will that moment be in the context of this match?
32.
Zhao Xintong got himself nicely amongst the balls.
See, it's more of a glancing blow with him. See that? The red doesn't come back to meet. and he's left it for John. Something I've been noticing all week long. It's just a different way that you hit the cue ball.
And for so long, the break-off shot has been seen as a nothing shot, but it's anything but now, because it can present this first chance, and the players are so good at knocking it in. Let's see how John goes about this.
One. Eight. Nine.
Earlier this month, Zhao Xintong, in beating John
14.
Higgins in the last 32 at the World Grand Prix, found himself 4-1 down to Mark Selby in the next round. Came back to win that match 5-4. Of course, went on to win
15.
the event as well. Had he not have turned that game around against Mark Selby, he wouldn't be here today. Didn't have enough points on the board to earn a place in the Players' Championship. And I suppose similar needs to be said for John. A few weeks ago, wasn't in this tournament, so
22.
what an exciting end to this event we've got.
23. $30. 31. 38. 39.
Yeah, if you were being
46.
picky, he went into the pack from the wrong side of the black. It was a better target coming from the right-hand side of the table. There wasn't that much to hit, so can he get himself out of a tricky spot with a trademark long red? Tough cueing,
47.
but beautifully played, and that'll do nicely.
It's hard to really explain just how tough that shot is, queuing over the main cluster. Played it with such control, didn't overhit the ball, didn't overthink the shot, just
50.
got down and stroked it in. Chance to get him back in prime position now. Well, this frame has been going just over 5 minutes and he's raced into a 50-point lead.
$51.
Looks to have the natural angle on this black to go into the cluster should he wish. All about the pot.
$58.
Just looking at John in his chair, he's sat upright, alert and ready to pounce.
Well, Zhao Xintong, he does have this little nippy one to middle. Oh, he's potted
59.
it. But it's end of break.
Honestly, I love it, John. I've been watching John. He's eyeballing him, and just looking at what he's looking at. What Xintong's looking at. What shots he's seeing? Because yeah, there he is. Yeah. Oh, I'd be playing the. Well, what's he thinking here? Black in the cushion, cue ball in bulk. I know what I would be doing. That's John. So much going on out there. Beautiful match this is. What is clear is that John is tuned in. He was out his chair like a greyhound.
Zhao Xintong, 59.
Well, this red is very, very thin. Oh, and he snipped it in. That was an absolute paintwork job on the red. Higgins disappointed to have caught the black in attempting the previous red to middle.
The green ball.
Time to pull the trigger on the green. And that's a great pot again. Oh, he does strike the ball so cleanly, doesn't he?
4. 5.
It was some shot, wasn't it? The red and the green, but you could be sat in the next room at home. What the heck was that? What a shot. And what a watch he is. He's brilliant, isn't he?
Nine. 10. 15. 16. 22.
Just while he's
23.
mopping these up, I think John, again, sitting in the chair, he's still in that position, upright, studying, watching, and in some ways learning. But I do think as well with John today, he'll be loving the fact that he's playing against Xintong. Really, this will get his juices
29.
flowing. He'll be loving it out there. Most people expect the world champion to prevail.
30.
And that, in some ways, suits John right down to the ground, I think. Hates a challenge, that guy, doesn't he?
And it's a good lesson for anyone at home watching.
35.
A way to keep yourself focused out there in the arena.
37.
John's body language ready to go. If his chance comes, he'll be out of his seat. Oh, where's this green going? Oh, stop
40.
it.
So you think you're good at doubles, do you, John? Right, okay.
44.
How's about a bit of that then? Wonderful to watch this. Brilliant match.
49.
Well, that was a little bit naughty, wasn't it, on that green? Cheeky little devil, but goodness me, what a frame this has been from Zhao Xintong.
55.
This boy can play snooker all right.
52.
And what a one more frame to be played before a mini 15-minute break. Can John make his move?
Cue ball just coming off that baulk cushion gives Xintong the chance to raise the button. Get this cue ball working.
One.
I mean, I know it wasn't the most difficult long pop, but right in the heart again.
It's just as good as in, isn't
Zhao
it?
Xintong.
When you're leaving that sort of shot.
John will be, honestly, he'll be secretly loving it and be thinking, right, it's baulk cushion or nothing. Nothing else is going to work, because the minute you let him get to the bottom of the cue ball, then he starts working his magic.
And that's where this matchup becomes so fascinating. John, one of the greatest tacticians we've ever seen. There isn't a shot on the table that he hasn't played a million times before. And as you say, he sees this as a challenge today. How does he contain the world champion? His first problem here is how does he get out of this one? Not just looking to hit a red, but where can he leave his cue ball that he doesn't leave as much of as a tempter as a pot for Zhao Xintong. 3 reds south of them, beneath, next to the black, is the obvious place he'd like to nestle his cue ball into, but goodness me, how does he get there?
Foul and a miss. Zhao Xintong 4.
Yeah, if John's struggling with that kind of escape, then we all are. So, the beautiful long pot by Xintong has created, in a slightly different way, this chance.
One.
And there's work to be done with this visit. Pink and black out of play for now. Don't know if that pink does pop to the right corner pocket. Looks very tight. And we'll see Zhao Xintong's aggressive intent.
6.
Well, there you see, it doesn't pot, so it's going to be up for blue momentarily.
7. 12.
Certainly, 2 of the reds of the 4 next to the pink, the top 2 to the right corner might be on. It's very, very close. And there's, yeah, those 2 at the top right there, there's a bit of a gap between them, so it is makeable. And the plant is close to right corner. He hasn't had a proper look at it yet. If he was
13.
to get on that, it could solve an awful lot of problems. There they are there. They're just setting the right job, but it looks on, doesn't it?
Yeah, and in playing it, it would open the pink up as well.
18.
I'm with you. I don't think he's spotted that.
Nineteen.
He may see it now.
$24.
Yeah, whatever way, he either hasn't seen it, or he'd be a great poker player.
25.
Let's see which. Surely he's going to see it now. Or is it into the 4? Well, it's kind of funny, isn't it? He just hasn't looked at it.
30.
There it is again there. It looks very close to being on, doesn't it?
Ah, he spotted it now. Just in time as well. Again, another wonderful piece of ball
31.
striking. How crisp has he cued that one? He delivers the cue with a tremendous amount of cue speed. That just enables him to get effortless power through the ball, effortless spin.
36.
So this now really will open up this frame.
37. 42. Thanks. 43. 46.
Just overcooked the cue ball a fraction now. Is he able to sort of dink this in and keep the pink low of the middle pocket? No. That was the trouble. Still has the blue,
47.
which is his kind of shot, let's be honest. But he's still got a bit to do.
Well, he'd have loved to have
52.
taken that blue on, knowing that brown and pink out of commission, black as well. He's such a potter, isn't he?
53.
So score check. 63 in front when this blue disappears. 59 remains, so it's been a good visit this from Zhao Xintong. Really has. He's had to work for it.
58.
Oh, stop it.
59.
He's toying with him.
$61.
Well, a fabulous break of 61.
Can happen when Zhao Xintong flicks the switch. Won those last two frames in no time at all, really. So set up nicely, 2-2. 4 more to come in this session. And then the conclusion this evening promises to be thrilling viewing. Higgins hasn't really scored yet. Highest break 47. There's plenty of time, though. A lot of people were sort of predicting he might be blown away. That hasn't happened in the early stages.
It was close. I think that's a shot that he's been left that a couple of times now, that long red, John Higgins, and it's a shot he's going to need to start knocking in on the evidence of the last couple of frames where Zhao Xintong has got his eye in now and he's settled in. You feel John's long potting is going to be key for him to create opportunities.
25 minutes just about since his last pot, and of course the match has only been going sort of twice that. terrific stuff. His long game has been really good in this tournament. We were talking before the final, 67%. So 2/3 of long balls attempted he's knocked in, and that was crunched in really sweetly. You know, we're talking about John as a 50-year-old potentially becoming the oldest ranking event winner, but as a young man, he was a prodigious winner, the first teenager to win 3 ranking titles. He'd actually won 15 ranking titles by the time he was 28, which is the age Zhao Xintong is now, and there weren't as many tournaments back then.
Six.
Well, here's an opportunity for John to get scoring. Like you say, he's competing well, but you think now the way Zhao starting to play, he's going to need more than just competing. He's going to have to start scoring heavier. It's the only way to get your opponent under pressure is to punish their mistakes when scoring heavy. There's no other way really of containing Zhao. But this is just what John needed after the interval. A nice opportunity.
Yeah, that record that Ray Reardon held, the late Ray Reardon, the oldest ranking event winner, he stood for 43 years until Mark Williams became the oldest ranking champion earlier this season. But Higgins would be 74 days older. Mark did say, the first thing he said when asked about it was, it'll go very soon. Ronnie O'Sullivan recently turned 50 as well.
Moment, please.
Pink spot not available. So it goes in a direct line behind the spot, as close as it can. Just
19.
congests things a little bit, doesn't it, around the black spot area. Still a few loose reds here. The black is available, but it all needs unravelling.
20.
I think there is a red here. Sort of right in the middle of the whole lot. John's looking at it now. He can get on that one nicely. Just starts to open things up. Yeah, this red here, that's the one he's looking at. It's sort of in the right in the middle of the bunch.
$27. $28.
Well, he potted the red cleanly, but it was one of them where he sort of hit two reds at the same time there. That's why the cue ball didn't follow the red through on a straight path. Yeah, I think that shot there, it's hard for us to sort of describe how easy it is for Zhao Xintong just to fizz the cue ball around the table, but John had a similar shot to the one Zhao played in frame 4, and you could see it wasn't easy. It's a big part of the game that goes unnoticed, the cue power, hidden cue power. So that is a fantastic recovery pot, and in the end it's worked out in his favour because Look at the balls now, after just one shot. Fantastic pot from John Higgins.
Yeah, superb. So he's got all his ducks in a row here to retake the lead in the match.
$38.
First ranking final was the 1994 Grand Prix, which he won at the age of 19.
$39.
This is his 60th to date. Only Ronnie O'Sullivan has been in more with 65.
$46. $47. $53.
I'm sure after yesterday he'll be determined to really focus now, because there was the odd part, wasn't there, that he missed that ultimately could have cost him that match. Probably should have done. But Matthew Stevens made the
54.
point, and it's a good one, that, you know, there's a kind of feeling that he shouldn't have been in the tournament because, of course, he was 17th. O'Sullivan didn't enter, so he got in. Little things have gone his way, despite a few errors. Here he is in the final. Is it meant to be for John Higgins this week?
$61.
61 ahead, there you see it, 75 remaining, so red-black. And put John over the winning line in this frame. A really important visit to the
62.
table. It was just, Zhao Xintong was just really starting to get a flow before the interval. He was thinking, like, how do you stop him? Well, this is how.
$69. $70. $76. $77.
John Higgins has made 2 centuries during this Players' Championship.
$83.
Still made 2
John
because he
Higgins,
missed
83.
that. But it was a
different.
really good from China, Zhao Xintong. 3-2 to Higgins. 3 more frames in this session. 10 required for the £150,000 first prize and the beautiful trophy. And of course, if Zhao Xintong were to win, he'd have the chance to complete the set at the Tour Championship in Manchester, having won the World Grand Prix recently in Hong Kong.
Yeah, it wasn't a bad break off from John, but
1.
it doesn't have to be too bad. Just don't want to be leaving any kind of pot for this man. And John knew when he saw that cue ball just approach the baulk line, there was a red available. And as usual, he knocked it in.
3.
scored heavily this week, 5 centuries on his way to the final, including the highest, of course. 142. In that World Grand Prix final recently, he made 5 centuries against Yang Anda.
11.
Yet to lose a ranking final. It's his 5th. Only 3 players have won their first 5. Steve Davis, Mark Williams and Neil Robertson. It's quite an exclusive club to be part of.
This is an ideal break building situation. Zhao Xintong.
20.
Pack of reds is tight, but when he eventually plays to go into them, he's got the red on the side of the table. Pretty much guaranteed to be on that red once he hits them.
27.
Yeah, so that's the way he's done it nicely. Worked the table well. Just play into the bunch now. Doesn't have to bring too many into play. Just 2 or 3 will do. He's got this red on the right hand side. Wow, he's got way too much into the cue ball there. That was an error. You don't normally see that from Zhao Xintong.
35.
He's looking to sort of catch the heart of the pack there. And well, I suppose that's the downside to having so much cue power. Yeah, well, that was a big mistake.
Zhao Xintong, 35.
Well, relief for Higgins, because as you say, when he broke off, he went back to his seat, fully expecting Xintong to crunch in the red and probably to go on and make a frame-winning break. It didn't happen.
Good safety from John. This one's a little bit trickier. Yeah, he didn't even attempt to get back into balk there, Zhao Xintong, and he's not played that as well as he could have. This red's available into the middle. Not straightforward. Looks like the cue ball may just avoid the balk colours. So just fully concentrate on the pot here.
Foul. Zhao Xintong, 4.
Well, he missed the red and didn't avoid the balk colours. It's not too damaging. He may be asked to play again, but could have been worse.
From there, please.
Attacking shot choice there from John. Felt the only red he could leave was the one he was playing, so worth attempting. There's possible outside chance of a double here on the red just up from the black. Always very risky playing doubles. Red up the other end by the green, also available. Again, it wasn't that difficult a shot he was attempting there, but he's not played it very well. Another long red opportunity for John. Bit more risk attached to this one though. This will test your cueing. Yeah, this time he has left the red. The red at the top of the bunch is available. Lovely pot. Just needs this cue ball to run. Wow,
One.
it's finished in possibly the worst place. He may still attempt the blue, but it's fraught with danger and it's not an easy pot. This red over the left corner is the one he needs to guard. Put the cue ball up near the pink. Would be pretty safe. I think he's looking at getting in behind the green, but that's risky. If he doesn't get behind the green, he's going to leave that red for John.
The blue ball.
Thanks.
Zhao Xintong 1.
Well, you can see that Higgins can see the potting angle. So he's unlucky, Xintong, to land where he did initially, but he hasn't got the cover. But Higgins hasn't got the pot. Feels like every frame has been one-sided so far. I don't think that pattern will continue. We'll see later, maybe tonight, if it gets a bit more dragged out, who prevails then. Let's not forget Xintong has won more deciders this season than anyone. And he can find balls from anywhere, it would seem.
Yeah, but again, as in same as the last good red Zhao knocked in, he's landed in a very, very awkward spot. Again, no real value in attempting a colour here. The green is mighty thin, so it looks like he's going to just trickle in behind the green. Well, he didn't fancy that either.
Zhao Xintong 1.
Just put the green on the side cushion. He's playing a pretty cagey game here, Zhao Xintong. I have to say, he's been a little bit unfortunate. Two really good pots and another roll of the cue ball. It'd have been nicely on a colour.
Further evidence that his safety game is maybe better than a lot of people realise. Higgins, in fact, was talking, because he's played him 3 times already this season. He's seen it firsthand about the weight of safety. The way he judges the pace on these safety shots has impressed John. And if it impresses John, then, well, it's impressive.
Yeah, John can see the 3 reds on the left-hand side of the table, but they're not much good to him. And if he just plays down and rests on the back cushion here, he's got to be careful, because the red closest to the left middle is available. So Zhao Xintong's found a very awkward spot here for John Higgins.
Foul. Zhao Xintong 4.
Might not be the worst result. Better in there than in the middle of the table. We know how good Zhao Xintong's long game is, and he won't be refusing this one.
One.
Yeah, I mean, you almost just give him those, don't you? It was another one that was crunched in, 80% now, long potting. So 46 in front, this time on a colour, which wriggles in.
8. Nine.
It doesn't look like he can avoid running into these 2 reds here, so just control this cannon. Wow. We see it
Zhao Xintong 9.
so often, don't we? Just maybe had half an eye there on pushing the red towards the corner like he has done. Just maybe took his eye off the pots a fraction. Oh, he couldn't have got much closer. That shows just how tight these pockets are playing this week. Yeah, the black has run slightly awkward, which is in Zhao's favour, but you feel if John's going to win the frame here, he's got to play on the black off this next red. Get it back on its spot. Trailing by 54. You'll need higher value colours. Wow, that pocket caused him quite a lot of trouble yesterday, and it's just poked this little head into play today.
Yeah, you've got to think he's half thinking about, OK, where do I need to be on this black? And he has missed the pot. But as you say, that's not his favourite pocket by any means in this tournament.
One.
Well, if he pots the blue, he'll need another red in addition. So it's looking like we're level again.
6. 7.
One of these matches, this could end up 10-9 and be done for about 9:45 tonight, because they're rattling through the frames. It's been very open. Higgins is aggressive as well in his shot selection, but in the end, he knows this one is gone. As long as he pots this, it's 2 snookers now, so just make sure of this one. Yeah, so it's going to be 3-3.
13.
Just seems
20.
permanently dangerous, Zhao Xintong, doesn't he? Even if you feel you haven't sort of left him in, he can find a way.
21.
So that's the fascination with this final. Higgins, yes, he's got all the experience in the world, but he's playing someone mega confident, mega talented, and of course with
28.
the titles to back it all up.
28 any
So
frame.
a rather scrappier frame, but dominated by the world champion. Average frame time 14 minutes. It's been attacking snooker, but also the frame's one-sided, so there's been no sort of playing on for snookers, which can obviously elongate the frame times. We'll see if this pattern continues, but 14 minutes of frame, that's seriously quick.
Yeah, deserved round of applause for that one. That was a wonderfully played safety shot from John, and it's so important. He finds that top cushion. We saw in the last frame how dangerous Zhao Xintong is from distance. Wow, he brushed the red, but as molecules come back down this end of the table, can he get through to the red? Does the red by the blue pot into this corner? Wow. You can see it does, but it's very, very tight and not worth the risk. Yeah, again, John just keeping the pressure on. That's what you got to do. You can't afford to let Zhao Xintong get his hand on the table and get sight at a long ball. Thanks.
Yeah, it's created a problem opening the reds as well. Even for this man, some shots take a bit of thinking about.
Yeah, he's had a look a couple of times now. He's come down this end. He would just love to be able to just catch the outside edge of this red on the left-hand side. If he can't get to it, it's hard to see how he can get this one safe. The red on the cushion down here. I'm not sure the angle's there. He's going to have to go very, very close to hitting the red on the right-hand side if he wants to lay on that one. Wow, what a fantastic shot that is. John Higgins is still in his chair. I think he's either admiring it or just can't believe Zhao Xintong's got the cue ball back there. He looked in all sorts of trouble. Fantastic shot.
There's the safety stats so far into frame 7, and Zhao Xintong just slightly ahead of Higgins.
Again, positive shot choice from John. Pot the red and hold for the black. But missed that one by a fair distance. And Zhao Xintong eyeing up this red long bottom cushion. These are never easy. These have to be hit perfectly. Oh, it's just too good, too good.
It was so clean, wasn't it, this? Really struck it perfectly.
Eight. Nine. Sixteen. 17. 24. 25.
Well, staying on the black for now. This is the fourth coming up.
$32. 33.
And the reds are nicely spread. Doesn't really have to worry about any cannons or going into any packs. They just, every time he sort of pots a red, it opens the pathway for another red. So this is just
40.
absolutely perfect for Zhao Xintong to win the frame at this visit.
41.
I'm sure that's all he'd be thinking about at the moment.
$48. 49.
Well, he made his first maximum breaking competition actually earlier this year at the Championship League. He had a chance at a tournament in China earlier in the season. He missed the last pink, and it was such an easy shot. He just didn't kind of pay any attention to it. He just missed it out of nowhere, but it didn't seem to bother him.
Well, this shot will tell us
56.
if he's thinking about the 147.
$57.
Well, we now know he's thinking about taking all blacks here. He's almost got the frame secure. Yeah, another very nicely played shot.
64.
So he can just get back onto the black again here. So the four reds below the pink.
65.
A tiny little cannon on one of the reds is going to open all four of them up. Yeah, there it is. So now everything is potable. Can he get back to the black off his next
72.
red? It's the next red he needs to secure the frame. Can he pot the red and get back on the black?
$73.
Well, the frame should be secured. Now, it's another one of these blacks. He potted, of course, a crunch one in the decider last night against Mark Allen. And there's another.
Yep.
80.
You only have eyes for the 147 now.
81.
The last shot, the last red he potted, he just pushed that red over to the right-hand side of the table, but that's going to give him a few little problems down the line. Oh, where's this black? Oh, what a shame.
81 minute frame. Zhao
Not to
Xintong.
be. Disappointment. That last frame is only 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's been an absolute treat this afternoon, this first session of the final. Both players playing a wonderful style of snooker. No frames are getting bogged down and players going for their shots, looking to win the frame when they get in to a scoring opportunity. Great to watch. And again, another little nod of approval there from John Higgins. Appreciating a safety play of Zhao Xintong. You'd have thought at the start of this match that's where John would have the edge, but it hasn't played out that way so far today. Zhao Xintong's competed very well in the tactical department.
It's not a disaster for Higgins, of course, if he's 5-3 down, but the danger is that if he makes a slow start tonight, suddenly the final completely gets away from him. So it does feel like a big frame for him. And then they can go again tonight, all square. But the frames have been so clean. It's only frame 2 where both players actually scored. All the others have been 1-0. That's why it's been so quick.
Short of the baulk cushion this time, but red's available. Difficult to see how John can pot one of those and get back for a colour, so looking to play a strong safety shot here, try and force an opening. Right, look for a moment. He's going to get lucky there and pull up behind the brown. Wasn't one of his better ones. Hit that one too thin. That's why the cue ball's raced in and out of baulk. Left John. Pots available into left and right corner here. How brave does he want to be? pot this red and hold for the blue. Makes the pot easier. But fraught with danger.
One.
Oh, what a great shot. Took the pressure off the pot slightly by bringing the cue ball back. I suppose you have to say it's a little bit unfortunate.
This touching ball, please declare.
Completely hampered by the yellow, so break's not going to go any further. But like I say, yeah, if you're really brave and confident there, you just pot that red and hold for the blue and you're away. But I can totally understand why John didn't do that. So if he misses it, he's leaving everything for his opponent. So touching ball declared, so John doesn't have to make contact with a colour here. Just play away. He's just looking along that cushion to find the most awkward spot. Put Zhao in as much trouble as possible.
John Higgins, 1.
Well, he can get to an edge here. Just got to be careful. Doesn't catch the pink on the way back up the table. Yeah, well done. Oh, this cube was going close to the brown again. Oh, this time he has got lucky. He's in behind the brown. That's not intentional. They're always playing to leave the cue ball on the baulk cushion, so slice of good fortune there for Zhao Xintong.
Yeah, and it's made more so by the fact the reds, of course, are all spread far and wide. So Higgins, with a lot to think about here from what he's seen this afternoon. He knows Xintong just needs one opening and it's 7 or 8 minutes later, frame done.
Again, it's hard to see where he can hide the cue ball and not leave a pot for his opponent. I can think of a couple of players here, Dave, that would just literally hit and hope as hard as they can.
Well, his good friend Stephen Maguire, his practice partner, already would have played that, I think. And sometimes it can come off. You can fluke one, you can fluke it safe.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen John do that, to be honest. But sometimes there is just nothing else. But like I say, I'd be very surprised if John does it. He'll look for every other possible alternative before playing that kind of shot.
Foul in the miss. Zhao Xintong, 4. Yep.
Well, he gets another go.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's as good as he could have done, I think.
Yeah, absolutely top draw. Escape that from John Higgins. Yeah, still, there is a red available for Zhao Xintong, but it's much more difficult than it could have been.
One.
It just doesn't seem to matter, does it? No matter where you leave him, absolutely deadly. Any kind of pot.
6.
Well, avoided the in-off, but not sure he's on anything here. Desperately trying to look for something to pot.
Zhao Xintong, 6.
That one was just asking a little bit too much. But he played it cleverly. Gone in, he was nicely on the blue. He's always going to be leaving some kind of pot for John, but he's left it very awkward. So yeah, he just didn't want to play safe there, did he? He wanted to keep the break going. Well, a lot of balls moved around there, having got so close. John can't get through to the red over the pocket, but I just wonder, is it making it a big pocket? Is it making this red down the side cushion unmissable? Is there enough room past that red over the pocket? Well, he's having a look. It looks straightforward enough, but if he catches too much of the red, it won't go in. Just needs to just glance off the red closest to the pocket.
One.
Yeah, nicely done. It's just come a fraction too far to be nice on the pink. He's looking at the blue. He's going to have to hit this blue pretty hard. In and out of baulk. And playing this shot with pace makes the pot that much more difficult.
Blue ball.
So a big shot here for John Higgins. Yeah, nicely played. There's the cue ball. Cracking nicely. Yeah, just put it in
6.
an area of the table. He's going to give himself options. So a couple of good pots. Can John make the most of this opportunity? It's a big frame for him. Tie the session.
7.
Well, it would set it up perfectly, wouldn't it, if he could win this frame? Equally, if he doesn't and he slips up, that might be what he remembers for the next couple of hours before they come back. So it is a big visit for John Higgins, trying to end the afternoon on a high rather than dwelling on a mistake. And he's missed that. So that visit didn't get very far.
John Higgins, 12th.
No, he just couldn't get nice on a ball there, could he? Just everything was a little bit awkward. Finished wrong side of the blue twice. Will he be punished? Every mistake's been punished heavily so far. And Zhao Xintong, no hesitation, playing down on the black. Get it back on its spot. And if this goes well, all of a sudden this table looks very different with the black on its spot.
Zhao Xintong, 1.
Wasn't expecting him to miss that. That is a let-off for John Higgins.
Well, seen those drop as well this season, but not here. So, yeah, massive reprieve for Higgins, and he really now he'll be so focused on punishing. Every frame ultimately counts the same, but it's because we're going to have about 3.5 hours in between sessions that this one does feel big now, in terms of how the players are feeling as they head back to the hotel.
Oh, not one of his best. It's never absolutely straightforward when the ball's in the jaws of the pocket, but he had quite a lot of room for error there. Anywhere out in the middle of the table would have been okay. So he very quickly put himself under pressure here, needing a good pot to keep this break going. These middle pockets play very tough indeed. Yeah, it wasn't easy at all. He shouldn't have been there. It was the previous shot on the black which caused the problems. So, first real sign of a few nerves and tension out there. It's been all pretty much picture perfect stuff till this point, but a few errors in this one. Both players know the importance of the frame. And there's another miss. So they're catching.
Yeah, I do think it is because it's the last frame of the session. Given that extra weight to it.
One good positional shot. Just get him in prime position down this end of the table.
Free. Yeah.
This is our first 20-minute frame of the final.
Got it. Thanks.
4. Eleven.
We've seen from Higgins this week as part of our team the genuine humility he has, but he must be so proud he's still competing with the new stars of snooker at the age of 50. When he turned professional in the early 90s, it was still the era where Steve Davis, Jimmy White,
19.
the players he grew up watching, were still at the top. And so many terrific players have emerged over the 3 decades.
20.
If Higgins were to win the final, he'd be up to number 5 in the world. Quite incredible.
He just keeps landing straight on the black, doesn't he? Just means you can only sort of go forwards or backwards. You can't move the cue ball easier. There's 2 or 3 times in this little break he's played that shot. Screw back and back across the same side for a red in the same
27.
pocket. The lead's creeping up. 37 now. So if he can take the 2 open reds with blacks, it will be enough. But I'm sure he'll want to play into the 3 reds and win the frame properly at this visit, clear the table.
28.
Well, he may not have the angle for that now. He may have to play for the red closest to the pink. Just looking at John, just shaking his head there. I think he did. The intention was to play into the 3 reds. Yeah, that's okay.
35.
That's pretty good actually, because it means he has to play down for the black, and that will put him enough points ahead. But like I say, he'll want to keep this going. He won't want Zhao Xintong getting out of his chair.
36.
Oh, and he's got the perfect angle. Yes, make sure the black is frame ball, but open the reds up. And frame's over.
Yeah, the pot is everything really, and it should mean we come back level at 7 o'clock this evening. So he's played the cabin. and played it well. So John Higgins, he needed a few chances, let's be
43.
honest, in this frame. They were both a bit edgy. But this red to make sure. And it's 4-4 coming back tonight.
44.
The final is set up perfectly for a grandstand finish.
Yeah, it's been a great session of snooker.
51.
Both players in fine form. Free-flowing stuff. Just can't wait
52.
for tonight. See how this concludes.
Yeah, Zhao Xintong looking to underline his reputation as the best player in the
57.
world at the moment by winning back-to-back ranking titles a couple of months ahead of his World Championship title defence. And John
58.
Higgins looking to extend his legend in the sport and become the oldest ranking event winner.
$63.
Higgins has made the highest break, 83. That was in frame 5. Zhao Xintong's highest, an 81. This break not over yet, though.
65. 68.
He certainly played a lot better than he did in the Masters final against Karen Wilson. There's no signs of a lack of stamina, and he'll have a good 3 hours plus to reset as well ahead of tonight.
72. 77. 83.
We can always rely on John Higgins for a double. And this has been a terrific break to end the afternoon, an important one for John Higgins.
John Higgins